Introducing Serpentor, the ultimate Cobra Emperor.
Serpentor, the most evil foe of G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
Cobra!
Cobra Emperor comes with air chariot.
Hello everybody, this is Master Joe. Welcome to my review of vintage GIJOE figures. Today we look at this 1986 Serpentor and with his air chariot. And Serpentor is the emperor of the Cobra, and also he is a creation of Man-Banner and also Destro. So his first appearance in the comic books is in issue 49. Man-Banner and Destro are not very satisfied with the Cobra Commander, so they decided to create a new leader. The Cobra Commander also know about this. He doesn't think Man-Banner and Destro can succeed, so he just let them to do it, and also supply them with some equipment. So Man-Banner and Destro, they just dug out 10 tombs of the ancient emperor, such as Napoleon and Attila of the Han. They just collect their DNAs and use the DNA to create a brand new leader. And they also use one secret person's DNA, and that is Storm Shadow. Because in the previous comic book, Storm Shadow was being shot by Baroness, but he is not dead. He just used this ninja way to pretend dead. And in the future comic books, issue 50, he just came back to life. And that really scared the Dreadnought members. Okay, we can see that from these comic books. Just use the 10 emperors' DNA and also use Storm Shadow's DNA because they want to create this emperor with the mind of the great emperors and also with the body of Storm Shadow. However, that is a quite difference in the cartoons because in the cartoon, they didn't use Storm Shadow's DNA. Instead, they're using the Sergeant Slaughter's DNA because when they are trying to get one DNA from the ancient tactics. Well, Serpentor was based on another character. The character is Frankenstein. Frankenstein was a novel written by Mary Shelley. She was a British writer. And in her 18th, she began to write this book. And in her age 20, the book was published. And that year was 1818. And in the book, it was about a crazy scientist who tried to create a perfect person. And he collected the parts from the dead body. And when it was created, he found that it was a monster. And this Frankenstein just killed his brother, and later on killed his fiancée, that is Elizabeth. And so he began to chase this Frankenstein and try to kill him. But later on, in the end of the story, this person, Victor Frankenstein, the creator scientist, and he was dead. And also Frankenstein was dead in a flame. So that was a tragic ending. And also here, our Serpentor, he also has a tragic ending. In the issue number 76, he was killed by Zartan. That was the period when Cobra has civil war. So Zartan killed Serpentor. That was the end of Serpentor's story. So now let's look at his file card to get some information about this guy. Okay, so here is his file card, and here is the code name is Serpentor. And actually, Serpentor is really his name, just like Zartan Destro. And he's the Cobra Emperor, and the secret cabal of Cobra scientists under the direction of the Interrogator and Destro comb the tombs, sarcophagi, and the relics of the great despot of history, and find cells with DNA traces. From this long-dead genetic blueprint, they produced a composite clone with military genius Napoleon, the ruthlessness of Julius Caesar, and daring of Hannibal, and the physical acumen of Attila the Hun. And actually, we know that DNA cannot just carry on the memory and experiences. So in the comic books, Larry Hama created one thing called a brainwave scanner. They use this way to scan the memory and experiences into his head. The ultimate is Cobra Emperor, a master of political intrigue, a brilliant tactician. He is capable of wresting power from Cobra Commander for the benefits of Interrogator and Destro. So here, the Interrogator is really the Man-Banner. But when this toy was being created, his name was not being chosen. So just put Interrogator here. Fortunately for the GIJOE, the Cobra Emperor's own ambition were not taken into consideration by his creators. And here, his eyes have seen the legions of Rome trample the Gauls and Nervii into the dust. It has lifted the horsehair baton that signals the first charge of Carthaginian armored elephant phalanx. His ears have heard the rattle of French cuirassiers on the street of Moscow. But it is mine we must fear the most. The thoughts of the Cobra Emperors have not drifted from global conquest since the reign of King Solomon. So this is the Cobra Emperor, Serpentor. So he is a very cool figure, though he has a short life from issue 49 to the issue 76. And let's look at his figure here. And in his figure mode, there is a cape here. It is very fragile material, almost see-through, and it's a bit shiny in this part. And the downside is more plain. And this one is very easily broken, especially the arm part. So if you have a perfect cape, I recommend you to take it off and to store it. And that is a way to preserve in the future. So now let's look at accessory here. This is the little dagger. Okay. So this dagger is a very nice moldy dagger, and according to this shape, I can see this dagger is based on the pugio. Pugio is the ancient Roman soldiers' classic weapon, and usually here, this part is like a sleeve shape, because when they just insert this to the enemy's body, and will produce more damage here. And this sword is kind of famous because Julius Caesar was being killed by this kind of knife. Okay, that is accessory here. And now let's look at the figures. Okay, so here's the figure. So when you take off his cape, it will be just looking like this. That is a very cool figure. The color is gold, just look like the Emperor. And also, it is a very special figure. Okay. And here is the head. The teeth here is very fragile. It is very easily broken. And if you are just press it, it will be broken and just look like this. The toothless Serpentor. And also the back part, this is the hood of the Cobra, just like the normal backpack. So you can just plug in here. And also on his shoulder, there are two snakes. In the cartoon, we can see these two snakes are alive, and which is kind of scary. Okay, so there are two snakes, and there is another snake in his waist. And we can see his both arms. They're very strong part here because he's using the DNA. In the comic books, he's using the Storm Shadow's DNA, and also in the cartoon, he's using Sergeant Slaughter's DNA. So no wonder he's kind of strong. And also here, it is also a nice armor in the shape of snake. And there are two fans here. And also on this side, this is a laser gun. He can use it to shoot out some lasers. And also there are leg armor here. And his boots are also very nicely detailed. All in all, this is a very cool figure. So let's see the articulation of this figure. Okay, so because this is a 1986 figure, so the head will go up and down because there's a ball joint inside of there. And it go left to right, left to right. And also you can rotate his arms. Okay, so this part can be bent 90 degrees and can swivel his arm here. And also his torso, because there's O-ring inside of there, so he can move his torso a little bit. And his leg can lift up and knee bend down 90 degrees. Okay, so let's look at the air chariot. And this is the air chariot of Serpentor. It is a very cool vehicle in a battlefield. And we can know that he's a commander, so he can use this to command his armies in the Cobra. And this air chariot is also based on the chariot. Chariot is an ancient vehicle in the Roman Empire. So with the Roman generals, they use this to command their armies. And also in the Gladiator, we can see this kind of vehicle here. All right, so here is a slope armor. Just like the Panther tank, just can increase the protection for the driver. And this is the radar part. He can just see whether there are some other enemies hiding. And here is the controller. You can use it to go left and right. And these two guns are 7.62 millimeter machine gun. It is a very strong arm add-up. And here are two stabilizers when he's flying in the sky. And there is another stabilizer here. And this part is propeller. It can roll around. Okay, and also when he's standing here in the car, we can see his cape is flying because of this. And here are two stickers add up to the details here. And there is a peg. The figure stand up right here. And this logo is Serpentor's logo, and there is a crown on top of there, so which means he is the king. And also there are some other logos, just like the Rattler's logo is also a special logo there in the year 1984. So let's put the figure on top of it. Okay, so this is another accessory of Serpentor. It is the Cobra snake. It is very detailed, moldy snake, up to the bottom. And also the texture is kind of soft, just like the real snake. And there are some details. Open up hood, showing this Cobra is kind of angry. And also The eyes, the head is very nicely molded. There are some variations to the colors of the snake. There are some darker colors, and this one is gold. There is a darker gold, and one is just near to the brown and dark gray color. And talking about variations, there is another variation to the figure. The neck part. This neck is the skin color, and there is a variation. The color is yellow, which is much rare, and is more rare than this one, and is very hard to find. I think the price is kind of higher also than this one. Okay, so this is a very cool figure. He's Serpentor. He's the emperor of the Cobra, and in a short period of time, he just replaced Cobra Commander, and later on, Cobra Commander just get back his throne. It's more like the Game of Thrones here. So if you liked this video, please press like and subscribe to my channel, and leave some comments here, because your likes are really my motivation to make more of these figures. So see you next time. Thanks for watching.
I got that sunshine